Welcome back to Heart Path Podcast. I'm your host, Terra Kenzie Longacre, adventurer, author, transformational coach, and retreat leader. In each episode, we will explore topics around spirituality, empowerment, divine embodiment, resiliency of the human spirit, heart-based business, and beyond. In today's episode, we're talking about conscious relationship. Conscious relationship, sacred union, sacred relationship. Relationships that are based on consciousness, that are based on connection, that are based on care, that are based on common interests, that are based on compatibility, that are based on this divine resonance, not convenience, not because there's been time invested and it's what you do, not because of anything other than the resonance and the level of consciousness that you are on with that other person. We can't not be in sacred relationship right now. Sacred relationship feels like it's non-negotiable right now. And if it's you that is inviting your partner to rise up and they're not doing it, they're either going to rise or you're going to settle. And if your partner is inviting you to rise up and meet them, you're either going to rise up or you're not, and they're going to settle. Or there's a termination of the relationship. Because the convenience and the familiar and the comfort that might not actually be comfortable is not going to cut it anymore. And yeah, it might feel easier to be in these relationship dynamics, but at the same time, we are here to experience the fullness of what it means to be human, to experience the fullness of what it means to be a soul, to experience the fullness of what that means, of that expression, to become one, where your soul and another soul merge. It's a convergence into one, that unity. And you might be seeing this a lot. Like there's people that have been in these long-term relationships and they're just ending. And it could seem like out of nowhere ending, but it's been a build-up. It's been a long time coming, all those words unspoken, all of the resentment, all of the unforgiveness, all of that. And love is not enough to sustain a relationship. I'm sorry, I hate to burst your bubble. Love is not enough to sustain a relationship. First, love is a choice. You're choosing to love that person every day that you wake up. And when we're looking at that, the love thing, you can love someone deeply and know that they're not your person. You can love someone deeply, but just because you love someone, it doesn't mean you're in alignment. It doesn't mean there's resonance. It doesn't mean there's this deep connection, but you could still love them. So yeah, love isn't enough to sustain a relationship. And those sacred relationships, those sacred unions, like those are built on trust. Those are built on truth. So it's trust on truth. Those are built on safety, acceptance, compassion, and love, of course. But love is not enough to keep the momentum or to sustain it. Although love could sustain it. We could say that love can sustain it, but we're not here to settle. So that perfect example, it's like someone's either going to rise to meet you, rise to the occasion, or they're not, and you're going to settle. So they rise to the occasion and they meet you, and then you expand that out into the world and reflect that divine union within each other out into the world, or they're not. And then you're going to settle. Or, on to the next chapter. We're here to have relationships that And don't get me wrong, like relationships are going to test you. Just because you've got this divine union or this sacred relationship, it doesn't mean it's going to test you. It's going to test you. Relationships are where we have mirrors. Relationships are where we can heal the unresolved trauma within ourselves through those dynamics of someone else. So yeah, things are gonna come up. There will be challenges. There could be some arguments as well. But at the same time, it's not toxic. It's not destructive. When you've got a relationship that's based on consciousness, that's based on connection, respect is in there as well, it's not going to be toxic and destructive. You're not going to be a shell of a person in a conscious relationship. You're not going to be a shell of a person in a conscious relationship. Relationships, like in those dynamics, you're going to be building each other up together. You're going to be watering each other. It's reciprocal. There's respect, there's truth, there's trust, there's care, there's resonance. And what you were in resonance before, you might not be in resonance now. And maybe you weren't even in resonance before, right? Maybe you weren't in resonance before, but at the same time, choosing love to sustain it, choosing convenience to sustain it, choosing comfortability to sustain it, choosing X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank to sustain it, might not have been in resonance. And if you're facing that right now, we don't need to judge. We don't need to judge other people. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody has their own path. And if you've grown and evolved and things are no longer in resonance, just because that's no longer in resonance, it doesn't mean that there isn't, just because you're no longer in resonance there, it doesn't mean that that doesn't exist for you. At the end of the day, the more that you expand your consciousness, the more that you enter into that God consciousness, yes, you're going to love everyone and care for everyone. But at the same time, there's an expression, unequally yoked. That's resonance. So we could pull from there, being unequally yoked with someone. Oh, not in alignment, not in resonance. People grow apart, things change. Connection's important, compatibility is important, common interest is important, commitment is important, care is important. Safety is important, far more than the quote unquote comfort or convenience of it all. So they're either going to rise or they're not, and you're going to rise together or not, and you're going to settle. The choice is yours. But at the same time, choosing to rise is not giving up on anyone. Choosing to rise is following that divine guidance that if we're going into sacred counterparts and divine union, your sacred counterpart is out there. You've been created. They've been created. Like, there will be other souls that are in complete resonance with you. We're not here to settle. We're not here to fight. We're not here to force. Love is real. Soul level love is real. Love of lifetimes is real. And like I said, yeah, love can be there. But love isn't the only thing that's going to make a relationship work. Thank you for listening to today's episode. And before you go, I wanted to offer an opportunity for reflection and contemplation. Was there anything in this episode that inspired you or that you can use in your life moving forward? If so, what was it? Was there anything that got brought up that made you feel uncomfortable, perhaps even triggered? Taking a moment to bring these reflections into the chest and into the sacred space of the heart, or if you have a journal, to jot that down. And I'd love to hear what you thought about this episode and how it impacted you. You can reach me on social media. Please share, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you. Lots of love. Mwah.